All right, guys, I am recording this video to help you get started with your 3.14 literary analysis. And this is the essay that you're going to write about Cry the Beloved Country, which is a novel that we hopefully are finished reading by now. It was our novel from Unit 3. So the 3.14 literary analysis is really kind of open for you as far as choosing what you want to write about. I am not being super picky. You can write about any topic that you want to as long as it's related to the novel. This PowerPoint that I'm going through right now that's also posted in your course has some samples and some examples that you are free to use. But if you want to come up with something different or you have a different idea, you're welcome to do that as well. So some of the major topics that we see in this novel are the idea of poverty, race relations. We see a lot of compare and contrast between city life and rural life. We see characters kind of struggling with this idea of morality, so right versus wrong. In this PowerPoint, I've given you a list of prompts that you can use if you want to, and the ones I've chosen all have to do with either theme, characterization, or cultural experience. With the prompts that I give you, I'm also giving you some example thesis statements. In this PowerPoint, I've kind of left them as like fill in the blanks, so you can fill in the blank with whatever you choose to write about. A thesis statement, just like we did in our last essay, should make it clear to the reader what your topic is and what point you're going to prove about that topic. So some of the sample prompts and thesis statements that I put together, again, these all have to do with either theme, characterization, or cultural experience. So you'll see as you go through the PowerPoint, and I'm not going to go through every slide because that would make this video forever long. But when you are going through, you'll see that on the left-hand side here, I put like this is a prompt about theme. So it says characters and setting play an important role in Cry the Beloved Country. Using specific details from the novel, analyze the impact of characters and setting on various themes in the novel. And then I give you some sample thesis statements that you can use, okay? For example, the first one says, in Cry the Beloved Country, the theme of blank, so whatever theme you choose, is developed through the setting in Johannesburg, South Africa, because blank. So this is very similar to the way we wrote our thesis statements for your argumentative essay. You just fill in the blanks with whatever you're choosing to write about. The second prompt I have dealing with theme is about conflict, and conflict is the driving force in the plot of any novel. This prompt is asking you to identify major conflicts in Cry the Beloved Country and clearly provide detail from the novel to fully explain the impact of these conflicts. So another example, in Cry the Beloved Country, the theme of blank is greatly impacted by the conflict between blank and blank. So these you would fill in based on what you choose to write about. There's a third one for theme. I'll let you read through that. And then this slide gives you some possible themes. So if you're struggling with like, okay, well, I want to write about theme, about what are some of the possible themes, I've given you a list here. Okay, these are not the only ones, but these are just some. It's perfectly fine if you come up with a different theme, as long as you can support it with textual evidence, it's fine. Then I did the same thing for characterization. So if you want to write something that's more focused on a specific character, there are a couple of examples here. For example, the first sample thesis says, in Cry the Beloved Country, the author shows Khumalo to be blank, blank, and blank. So these would be words that describe Khumalo in order to make a point about blank. So these are, again, some sample prompts having to deal with characters. You can use these or you can write your own. And then the last examples I give you are prompts about cultural experiences. For example, the first one says, one of the novel's goals seems to be to offer a balanced portrayal of both white and black perspectives without condemning either side. Does the novel succeed in this goal? Is it too judgmental? Does it oversimplify any issue? So that would be the question you answer. And a sample thesis I gave you for that one says, the novel Cry the Beloved Country attempts to offer a balanced portrayal of both white and black perspectives without condemning either side. And then in the blank here, you would say whether you think the novel achieves this goal or not. So there are, I think, 3 or 4, there's 4 different prompts and thesis for cultural experience. So you can choose any of those. You're only choosing one. So you can choose from any of these that I've already done, or you can choose your own. As long as it relates to the novel, it should be fine. I'm going to show you kind of what I want the structure of this essay to look like. This will be a shorter essay than your argumentative essay. It should not be as long, and it should be 4 to 6 paragraphs. So that's going to be your introduction, 2 to 3 body paragraphs, and then a conclusion for this one. So not as long as your last one. Your introduction will be very similar to the last one we did. You'll have a hook, your thesis statement, your informative statement, and then your body paragraphs. You should have at least 2 body paragraphs. You could have up to 4, but that's getting a little bit lengthy. I would say 2 to 3 body paragraphs with evidence and explanation to prove your thesis. And then, of course, your conclusion that just restates your thesis and your main idea. Each paragraph should have at least 5 sentences. If you have more than 5, that's okay. Less than 5, not okay. Each paragraph, okay? I do not care how many pages your essay has or what your final word count is. I just want to see 4 to 6 well-written paragraphs. And of course, you can refer back to the rubric for this that's in your course. Or I have a chart for this essay too that is similar to the one we used for the argumentative essay, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. The rest of this PowerPoint is just kind of some planning slides that you can use if they're helpful. You don't have to do these. You're not going to be turning them in. But if it's helpful for you to plan, there are some graphic organizers and things that you can use here to help you plan out your essay. The other thing I wanted to show you, and this is going to be posted as well, this is the chart that looks like the one we used for the argumentative essay, but this one is made for a literary analysis. So you'll see it looks very similar. So your intro paragraph will have a hook. It'll have an informative statement, and then I used tag and tick. I know we haven't talked about this in person before, but tag is pretty simple. It just makes sure you list the title of the work, the author's name, and the genre. So this is a novel. And you'll notice in the example thesis statements that I gave you, I included the title, and I always said, in the novel, Cry the Beloved Country. I didn't always use the author's name, but that's something you would want to do. And then you can use this tick, which is what is the author's attitude, which is tone, what is the main idea or focus, what is the context. And then your thesis statement. If you're using one of the thesis statements that I already did, you would just fill in the blank with what you're writing about. If you're trying to formulate a sentence on your own, here's another example, kind of a thesis stem that you can use if you want to. This looks just like the argumentative essay that we did. When you get to the body paragraphs the same. I just didn't copy it more than once. So for this essay, you need at least 2 body paragraphs. You would just have to do this twice. So it looks the same. You need a topic sentence. You need a concrete detail. This is coming from your thesis statement. And then you want your evidence from the novel your commentary, concrete detail 2, your evidence and commentary, and then a concluding sentence. And then your conclusion for this essay is pretty simple. You want a simple summary that is touching on the big points of your essay, kind of wrapping everything up, recalling what you've talked about. You want a callback where the writer selects a few events, facts, or details from the novel, and you want to call your reader's attention back to those. And then you can end again with something fun, using some sort of literary device like an anaphora, a metaphor, imagery, something like that. So I'm going to post this chart as well. I'm not going to grade the chart. This is not like we did for your argument essay where you turned in every piece, but a lot of you said that the chart was really helpful for you in writing the argument essay. So I am going to post this because if it helps you kind of break it down, that's fine. But then you'll just submit the final draft on a Word document. But these are going to be posted. So this is in the same module that you're watching this video, the PowerPoint, and the literary analysis chart is linked directly below this video. So of course, as always, if you have questions, reach out to me, email, call, or text. I'm out at testing this week. I will be in office on Friday. And then next week I'm out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday. And then we have a school holiday on Friday. But always reach out, email, call, text. You can also attend office hours that are scheduled and posted in your course. So good luck on this. Have some fun with this essay. Write about something that's interesting to you. It makes the process a lot easier. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. Good luck.